What is luxury? Is it something you acquire, desire, or is it something that you experience? An indulgence that needs to be captured for moments and for memories. Luxury is in feeling the life around you as you set off on a journey. A journey that takes you to pin codes that are unique, exciting, and innovative. So here I am, Karan Thakur, an actor by profession, but a traveler by heart. Out in my Nexa XL6 on the first out of 5 other journeys to explore and experience pin codes across India. Celebrating its diverse panoramas, exclusive experiences, and its amazing people. Nexa Journeys presents Lux Pins driven by XL6. Your gateway to exclusivity.
So, Karan, can you tell me, how was your experience in Goa?
Goa, what can I say?
You know, I've been coming to Goa since I think a good 15, 17 years. I've always come in the summers, but coming to Goa in the monsoon is absolutely different experience. If you ask me where I am today, it takes me 2 minutes to just like stop myself from thinking, oh, this is Goa. When I walked out of the car, the whole scenario and the whole scenery just like took me in. I couldn't help myself but just to constantly keep looking around. And that's the beauty of Goa, that you've got this entire side that the world knows and this entire tranquil side to Goa, which luckily I'm getting to explore. I had a little thought of my own, is why I thought, let me just run back to my car. I pulled out my map. Where I get to is the surprise, so you gotta watch out for that one. So what I punched into my SmartPlay Pro system is a pin code of exactly where I'm planning to go. All you gotta do is follow me and my XL6. XL6 is synonymous with luxury and detailing, and that's exactly what it delivers. And I'm quite impressed with the car because, especially when you're driving on the highways, you want to make sure you're on a car that makes you feel protected and feels really grounded when you're driving. And that's exactly what the car did. We've all come to Goa, had a drink, but I think it's really charming to see as to where it all started from. We all know that Feni is the pride of Goa. So why not go to where it all started from? This is the first time that I've come into like the forest land to kind of explore Goa in its true nature. We're from big cities and we're usually used to seeing fruits and vegetables that are like on a daily basis, like of consumption. But when you walk into the forest and you see these wild berries and you suddenly see this burst of color, that makes you stop. It's a different sound, it's a different music. It just takes you in, you know, and it just like suddenly shuts you up. And it just like lets you be. You hear that? That's exactly what. My state of mind when I was waiting for Hansel there was just tranquil.
Hey, Karan. Welcome to the Fazenda. You found the secret spot, have you?
I did.
But this is not the surprise.
Oh, this is it?
We've got a unique experience up there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, I thought this is so beautiful in itself. This is where we'll be hanging out.
Yeah, we've got something more intoxicating, something very interesting for you.
Oh, done. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Yeah.
Aye, after you.
Yeah. Come. So this is actually the first stage of fermentation, and so we collect the fruits, we drop
right.
them here, and we twist them. So this is interesting because we stomp it.
Okay.
What's interesting is Goa is the only place in the world where we don't pluck a cashew. We pick it up from the ground.
Which makes sense because A, you need like the most ripe fruit to kind of make feni. And also it's great for nature, right? You're not going out there and deforesting or just like going out there crazy plucking.
This is underground natural fermentation. Only 6 cultures in the world do this. We're the only distillery left in Goa that is still practicing feni this way.
जो घड़े बोलते हैं जिसको जो मटके होते हैं, they've got these pots that are specially made for feni specifically.
And what's interesting about this pot is that this pot is made of a particular mud, but you have to have a special physical character to make this pot.
As in?
You have to be thin and you have to be tall.
What's the logic?
Tall because you need to have a long arm, so you can put your arm inside.
Okay,
and you have to be
that
thin.
makes sense.
Yeah. Thin because
also because for the same
no, if
reason.
you have a paunch, you'll have a flat spot here.
Oh, so you definitely can't make
I
this.
can't. Yes, I get you to work for me.
What is the origin of feni?
The first Europeans wrote about it in 1585.
Okay.
So it was there before. And what's interesting is the description made in 1585 is exactly what we're seeing today here.
Okay.
And that is what is fascinating.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is the real deal. This is the fire. We light a small fire here and we start distillation. Then we seal it up here. It goes through this pipe and then condenses out here.
What I actually loved is that after so many years and so much of technology that's come into place, there's a clear mandate for feni that they stick to the traditional way of making it. So basically, once this entire process is done, what do you do after?
So once the alcohol is ready, then we move it to our cellar. Have you seen a feni cellar?
I haven't actually. Come, let's check it out. Yeah. Wow.
This is it. This is the cellar.
Hansel?
The oldest ones are about 250 years old, those ones. And the youngest are about 40 years old.
I think it's a very, very pretty setup.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Everyone has cellars made out of wooden barrels.
Correct.
There isn't a cellar that has glass.
Exactly.
And I found this really interesting because we ingeniously started resting feni in it. We didn't age. So aging is a technical term for wood.
Okay.
We uniquely rested them in glass. And so feni kind of rounded off. This drink has perspective. Yeah. I mean, you can actually pick up this glass, look at it, and you can actually feel there is a story behind, there's a tangible difference, and it's not shallow.
True.
I think that's the big thing about this drink. This is our culture, this is our story, and this is what it is.
No, I love the sense of tradition behind it. There is a clear mandate that the traditional way is the only way.
Only way. We didn't want to kind of mass produce it. We said we make it this way. This is a culture that's 450 years old. I mean, who are we to change it today?
True. So when I walked into the cellar, you know, the entire setup has got this mystique to it, you know, because you've got these kanch ke barrels that are like ancient old, and it's beautiful that they've kept them just the way they were. Hold on, Hansel, you had promised me when I met you here for the first time that we're going to have a very interesting, unique experience and a very beautiful surprise. And most importantly, I think I'm very parched. I'm very thirsty. You owe me some feni now.
So you've seen the artisanal process.
Okay.
Now we're going to taste the spirit here. We got a massive spread for you. So it's a food pairing and a tasting, sir.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
When we designed this platter has got a mixture of everything.
Okay.
So we also want to, this platter as much as to surprise you as much as to complement the flavors. And so we've got interesting flavors which a tourist would never, most normally not seen. And we don't buy them from shops. It's not like commercially available. These are specially, and I would say artistically made at home and brought for this experience.
Okay.
So that's why we take an appointment every time.
I thought it was a very sweet gesture. I mean, who doesn't like personalized things done just for you? So I thought it was very nice of Hansel.
So the idea was if you've been for a wine tasting, you already have an idea. If you come for a whiskey tasting, you already have an idea. So my thing is if you came for a feni tasting, it has to be completely different. So we cannot compare and compete. So it is. So we laid the law according to the way we wanted it. So we're going to change this Punjabi to now start liking Feni.
Then I'm with you on that, man. Let's try this. Okay. All right, let's try this.
You need to pop it up properly. Come on.
Yeah.
Full muscle. You got those muscles, use them. Ah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, big clap for you.
Oh, that smells very nice, yeah? Okay, so let's do this together.
Anyway, so what we're going to do,
Yeah.
we're going to separate your palate from your nose.
Okay.
This is very interesting because cashew is a very different spirit. So what I'm going to do, close your nose with one hand,
Okay.
okay, and just roll it on your tongue, okay? Take a small sip. Don't leave your nose.
Okay.
Roll it in your tongue. Your tongue can taste only 5 things: sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, and umami. What did you taste?
I did like a berryish sort of a flavor.
Okay, and taste any spice?
Something's burning.
Burning. So that's spice. So cashew is a very spicy spirit.
When you're sipping alcohol or when you're sipping a drink, you want to kind of break it down into what are the different flavors that you're getting and what's the base flavor. So that's what he was trying to do. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Can I get a hit again?
Now you can do it. Now you can do it. Take a small sip and look at your platter and tell me what you feel like eating.
I feel like getting an apple.
Green apple or red apple?
See, I knew I was good at this.
So I've got green apple and red apple, okay? Smell both, taste both, and tell me which one is right. Because this platter is designed to please you, to complement the flavors that you're drinking, and also to confuse you. So one is a confuser, one is the real one.
I'd like to say green apple.
Absolutely right. So what goes best is the guava cheese. Have you tried guava cheese before?
Guava cheese. No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
right.
Is there a brown one?
Yeah, the brown one. Now taste the Feni. So we will try the next one. Okay. So Dukshiri is gin style Feni. What flavor are you getting? Can you smell it? When we have Europeans who come in, they say salted caramel. So salted caramel is one. There's little licorice. Okay. There's a little petrichor. Petrichor is the smell of wet earth.
Okay. I think the only thing that I am getting is peanuts. You're right.
Peanuts, yeah, peanuts is the strongest. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. The smell of peanuts in your mind and the taste of peanuts are two different things. Completely
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, completely different.
That is so funky.
But what tastes really cool is the black thing. What are you looking at?
What is that?
Try it. It's called a pinagre. It's made of toasted rice. We've got a surprise. You've been very well behaved and a small gift you'd like to give you. Yeah, a prelude.
Thank you.
Prelude to the...
That is so sweet of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What better way to have a drink while immersing your feet into water and just like chilling out, like in the literal sense of it. Everything in that place, from the food to the alcohol, has a story and a reason behind it. So it makes it more experiential, you know, instead of just going out there and just doing what you usually do. I walked into a moody forest to dance with the spring of joy. I stared at the trees, whistled back at the birds. A spirit greeted me and introduced me to life. An enchanted life.
Someone has rightly said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. And to appreciate the present, I decided to travel back in the past. My next pin code was a 17th century Portuguese fort with a commanding view of the Arabian Sea, now converted into a luxurious heritage hotel.
When I was driving to the fort, the only thing that I could think about is how did people like pick up all those stones, you know, put them together, create this entire fort? I don't know, just the thought of a fort always is just so fascinating. That the minute I walked in, the entire color tone in my head just changed from color to black and white, because that's how the 17th century might have been. Just the expanse of it, you know, the way it's placed literally in the middle of nowhere and it's on the top of a mountain. First thing that you see is this massive door, you know, with these spikes on it. And it makes you realize that, you know, the time that all this was made must have been such a tough time, because, you know, the constant idea of creating a fort to make your defense stronger. Right in the middle of the entire courtyard, you've got this beautiful church. Churches in itself have this sense of calm and peace. So that just took my breath away. When I walked into my room, I just felt they've retained the whole old world charm of the way the Portuguese had ideated it, had built it. personally love four-polster beds. There's this whole vintage feeling to the entire bed. Like, in terms of the fabric used, it's not like they can't change it, but I like the fact that they've retained it like the way they have. Having these large ceilings, and if you like look up, you get to see that it's actually like the way things used to be back in the day. This view is amazing. I love it. I love it. You know, I love the ocean. You know, William Shakespeare infamously said, "What is this life so full of care? We have no time to stand and stare." When I was exploring this place and check out the whole view, I went to my balcony. I could just hear some kind of music coming my way. Being explorative as I have been on this entire trip, I thought, let me see where it's coming from. To my pleasant surprise, this lovely amphitheater-looking place that had this lovely girl singing.
Eu sei, meu amor, que nem chegaste a partir, pois tudo em meu redor me diz que estás sempre comigo.
Because she was just singing acoustic by herself, and that voice of hers was just so powerful. And when I came down is when I was just blown away. I, in fact, have never seen anything like an opera before, and it was very unique in its own way, and it was very new because I've also never heard Fado before, and I've never seen anyone perform it.
Pois tudo em meu redor me diz que estar sempre.
Wow,
Thank you very, very much.
that was really nice.
Thank you.
Why don't you start telling me about the kind of music that you were singing?
Okay, so what I just did was a fado.
It's Fado.
Fado, yes, exactly. And basically fado means fate
Fate.
and destiny.
Okay.
And it's a form of music which is, you know, it's very expressive, and it dates back also to the 1820s.
Okay. You know, when you were singing, I was just thinking that what makes you come probably all the way to Fort Terracol?
This is a beautiful place, and the fado that I sang is called Barco Negro.
Barco Negro.
Barco Negro.
Just enjoying saying this.
So, Barco Negro, it means black boat.
Okay.
And the poem translates, the old women on the beach are saying that my lover will never return.
Are you the first generation that got into singing Fado, or you've got like family members who also sing?
I have my background, which is into music.
Okay.
So my dad was a very well-known drummer, and my mom was a dancer, ballroom dancer.
Okay.
So, you know, there was rhythm at home.
Do you think like the kind of music that you sing, would it ever like transpire into like mainstream cinema?
I wouldn't say no. Of course, we would have to work out because there's a structure we follow in the fado, which we would have to then, you know, work out in cinema. But I can see a future for it. Fado is being modernized now. So earlier it was just these two instruments that you used, while now there's fusions happening.
Must be so tough, yeah? It's so tough to kind of just stick to your roots while moving forward. It's
It's
not
a very
easy.
intimate experience to have it in a closed room, you know, where the acoustics are good.
Right.
But if you're going to have it completely outdoors, then of course you would have to plug in and things like that.
Correct.
So it kind of loses
Correct. It's charm.
authenticity, I would say. Yeah.
Nice. No, wonderful to have met you, and what a lovely
too.
performance.
Thank you very much. Lovely seeing you.
Likewise.
There is a power in reflection. To take a moment and wonder, how far will I go? Will I morph and transform into a better version of myself? Because the journey has just begun. And I have miles to go.
So I don't know about coming again. I can safely say I don't feel like leaving right now.